Who needs books?
I don't live in Northwest Arkansas, I live in DFW. So what am I doing here? Well, I'm gonna move here when we finish this stupid house. The reason we bought it, this specific house, even though it's a complete mess, is because we've been talking about moving up here for a long time, my wife and I, and my wife's family. And we kind of picked a spot. We said, well, if we're gonna move up there, we wanna move, somewhere cool. We drive up between Fort Smith and Fayetteville on our way to go fishing every year. There's a spot called the Boston Mountains, and it's just very scenic and lots of hills and trees and waterfalls and creeks and rivers, and we like it. If we're gonna live in Northwest Arkansas, we can live close enough to also be a part of Fort Smith, since I do real estate, and Fort Smith is a different kind of market, one that I kind of like. When we looked at the map, we saw Highway 49, Highway 71, and we kind of picked a spot on 71 because that's where all the towns are, the very small towns. So we picked Winslow. It's right between the two. Winslow is about 300 people. Not really a whole lot going on in Winslow, but it's pretty cool. It's got these little old historic downtown buildings. It's got, 3 of them. And 2 of them are, I think one of those buildings is apartments. And then one of the buildings is nothing, and then the other building is like a city water department or something, or in a jail that's no longer in use. My wife saw a house pop up here for sale, and it looked like one that we could do. It looked a lot better online than it does in person. It was 8 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms, I think, which is true. I mean, if you walk through here, that's what it has. It's got a lot of bedrooms and bathrooms. So the thing is, though, it has a walkout basement. But the basement ceilings are only 7 feet high. I don't know about you, but I don't like living in a 7-foot high house. So the basement's kind of unusable as is. And we're short, so if we're short and we don't want 7 feet ceilings, I can't imagine how other people would feel about it if they were a little bit taller. The decision was made to lift the house. Lifting the house is not something I've ever done before. We do foundation work in DFW a lot. Like we have slab foundations and they all just gotta get jacked up and, cracked and sink. There are no general contractors that I have found that have ever done anything like it. So we decided that I would self-manage getting the place dried in, including the lifting of the house. Because, if nobody else has done it, I don't know why I'd pay them to learn on the job. I guess I get to do that. So that's what we're here this weekend for, is we started the process of lifting. Not me, but a company we hired. We called a bunch of different house moving companies, 15, 20. We had 2 written bids and 2 verbal bids, and nobody else was interested. It's cold in here. I think it's about 30 out today, and it's colder in the house. This house is basically open. So anyway, Howard House Moving is the one we chose. The bids we got a $30,000 bid, a $58,000 bid, and a $75,000 bid for the exact same job. We actually chose the lowest bid. I guess we'll find out how that's gonna go. They seem good. I was actually the most comfortable with him. Basically, we've got a $45,000 difference between the low and high bid. So we'll see if we end up using that $45,000 from our mistake, if it is a mistake. But I don't think it is. They're out here working, and they seems like they're gonna finish and do the job. The attic is another part of the house that's weird. The attic is 7 feet high also, and it looks like it was intended to be finished out. It's got stairs right up to it, but it's only 7 feet, so we are not gonna finish it like that. If we don't run out of money, we have an addition planned up here, a small one, where we're gonna raise the roof in a section and maybe make about 800 or 900 square feet of living space up here. Currently there's 1,200. So this room I'm walking back and forth, it is 1,200 square feet. It's 100 feet long by 12 feet wide. It could be a great bowling alley or something. And it has 2 windows, and it even has this other end right here. There's a window on this end and each end. So this end, it looks like they like tried to make a bedroom. I don't know what happened to the windows, but since we bought it, these windows got taken out. We had a contractor come and demo the porches. And I say contractor loosely. I don't know what he was, but porches got demoed. He would send me pictures of the work completed. It was always very misleading. Like, oh yeah, we stacked all the material nicely so you can burn it or throw it away. This is the bedroom. It's like 14 by 12, but with 7-foot ceilings. So that contractor, you know, he would take pictures that just didn't really show the actual condition of how he left the place. So we were okay with him after he demoed the porches, based on the photos he sent. We're not out here, we're in Texas, we're 5 hours away. So then we had him do the trees because he's claiming to be a general contractor. He does roofing too and demo. So this general contractor said, you know, I have a friend who does tree work and I can bring him out here and he can help me get these trees down. There were 2 very big oak trees that were up against the house that had to come down before we lifted it, just to make it easier, and because if we're gonna take some big trees down, let's do it before we spend any money on the house, because if they fall in the house, it's probably not gonna actually cost us very much money because we're doing everything anyway. So they did fall in the house, kind of. One of the trees came down just fine. The other one hit the house in 2 places, hit the roof. Didn't really do a lot of damage, so you know, that was true. It didn't actually cost us any money because it just damaged the roof, which we're replacing anyway. It didn't damage the structure underneath. Problem is, he didn't tell us. The neighbor came out and was wanting to help, offered help for some free wood. The deal between me and the contractor is stack all the wood up nicely so I can split it. I want the wood. And instead the contractor said, oh, you're willing to help? Well, you can have all this wood that the owner wants. So I'll save money, I'll save time. Owner loses the wood, who cares? Basically. So we shorted him $500 for hitting the house, which he didn't tell us about until the neighbor told me, and also giving away the wood like an idiot. I don't know if it was him, because I don't have like fingerprint evidence, but somebody came and like ransacked this house shortly after and took anything of value, which was not much. So fortunately, there's almost nothing here. The previous owner left a nice TV that I was gonna keep, but TVs are cheap and we have too many TVs anyway. And they also took like a bunch of DVD sets of the Game of Thrones, which I actually was gonna make a video of me throwing those in the fire to be funny. And who knows what else, but nothing I know of, so. Not a big deal, but it left the place a mess, so not my favorite thing to have happen. So that's where we are right now. We came here this week to watch the house get lifted and be here if they needed us, and also jackhammer the garage floor, which didn't go so well. We gave up. But the house lifting guys, I called them and I said, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna have this floor done because we're starting and it's taken forever. And he said, you know, don't worry about it. I got a jackhammer on the truck. He was able to just take that thing out right away. They brought a Bobcat too, or a skid steer. So it really didn't matter, but they were nice enough to do that at no additional cost. Anyway, that's where we are. I guess I can walk you around outside. Oh, the sun feels good. There's the equipment. Here's the garage floor that we did not successfully demo. That's okay. They got it for us. Look at that beam. That's crazy. That was assembled on site from 2 sections. And this beam here is identical, as far as I can tell. And there's the road in here. There's the big green garbage house. It's huge.
Hey guys, what do we call this house?
The biggest, ginormous.
The green garbage house?
Yeah.
I like that.